Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, and today I get a chance to do episode 2 of the fishing show or fishing club swap meet. This one is called I'm Moving to New Mexico because, well, the fellow that was selling this is moving to New Mexico. He was from the West. He moved east to follow a career change, and well, he was invited back to New Mexico in a prior position to continue in his promotion path and career. And the stuff that he bought on the East Coast here for saltwater fishing, well, he pretty much said there's no role for that in New Mexico. He'll go back to fishing the streams and lakes, but he's going to leave his gear behind. And if I want it, it's $100. So, well, here is what I got for my $100 investment. I got 7 rods and I think about 7 reels. I'll show them to you in this video. Talk a little bit about what they're used for, the interest in them, and well, why I decided to make that purchase. So the first one up, I think, is the one that caught my attention. This one hasn't even gone fishing. This is an Okuma rod and reel. It's the Okuma Classic GT Pro. For the rod. It's called the Downrigger. I think this one is probably an 8-foot rod. It's an 8'6" rod, which is very unusual for matching it in with a conventional reel. This is a surf casting rod, and well, I have this paired. It came with the Okuma Magna, and it has the line counter on there, or a depth counter. Well, that's not real important for fishing from the beach. That's probably what I'm going to use this for. It's an 8'6" is a nice size to throw a relatively heavy lure. This is a compact Okuma. It's like the Okuma Classic essentially, but it does have the narrow frame, and in this case it has the line counter. The idea behind the line counter is to show you the depth at which the strike occurs, so that when you get that strike you can go back out to that depth and or length if you're trolling. Go right back out there and you should be in the water column where that is going to hit. So this is the Okuma Magna mounted on an Okuma Classic Pro GLT rod in never used condition, but I can guarantee you it will be used. Well, the fellow liked Okuma. This is also a Magna reel, also with the line counter. This one is mounted on a Daiwa Apollo pole. Probably hard to see in this. Kind of hard. I had to come in. It was raining outside. Couldn't do that out there. The Daiwa Apollo. And one of the things we would know is that Apollo is a spinning reel, and this is a spinning pole. Unfortunately, it's got the wide eyes. That's not set up for a conventional reel. The conventional reels use the narrow eyelets, and that's because line will just come off straight and you have better control of line. When line is on a spinning reel, it comes off and it curls from that wide spool, and so it takes a while to taper that line down during a cast. So you start out with a wide eyelet and taper it down to the point where it exits the pole. Well, we're going to continue these reviews. While I'm doing that, if you like these types of videos, please subscribe to my channel. If you do subscribe to my channel, please use the notification button. That will let you know when I'm posting, and you'll be able to see if that's something that you like. Well, next one is a rod without a reel. This is a Shimano. It's a 7-foot rod. It's the Stimula. This one has that single post mounting for the eyelets. The older poles, a lot of them use the double, and I still prefer the double wrap, but these have the graphite lined one. This is a beautiful little spinning reel. It's perfect rod. It's perfect for inshore fishing. While I'm going with the empty ones, this one's a 2-piece rod. This is a Shakespeare Synergy rod. This one is a bait casting rod. It has the narrow eyelet, as I mentioned. This one does come in 2 pieces, and this one's appropriate for bass fishing and the like. It has a solid singular mount, which is controlled from the top. You'll mount your bait caster in here, then clamp down on it with the top. A lot of the saltwater reels that you see clamp it down from the bottom. This one is a bassing pole. I just did a video on a Bill Dance reel, and I think we'll probably put that on here. Next up is a really nice reel. You can see, this is very interesting. He bought these reels. You can see all the dust and everything on here. And he said he really didn't have a lot of time to go fishing, but he bought the setups for them nonetheless. This one is a Penn. It's the Penn GTO series. This one's the 220. It's a very nice reel. This one does have the level wind feature on it. It's hard to show again, and I'm kind of working through this, but it does have the level wind feature on it. A very solid reel all around. I'm not sure if I've done a video on the GTO 220. I will, if I have not. This one is mounted on an ugly stick. This is a heavier pole now. This one would be suitable for, well, it says 20 to 50 pound line. It's a 6.6 pole, and the medium heavy action. This is what we would typically call a boat pole, and you can see as you get up towards the tip, it's still a very thick profile in it, and it does handle very heavy fish, as does the reel. So this is an ocean reel. I guess for those of you catfishing and going for those 50 to 70 pound catfish, this would probably be a pretty good setup for that as well. I don't like it from a casting reel because of the line guide feature, but other than that, this is a very nice reel overall. I will try to do a service video on that one if I don't find one. Here's another open pole here. This one has the traditional 2 guide setup that I was referring to. This one is an eagle claw pole. Probably can't read it because I have it upside down. My apologies. It's called Tactical High Performance. It's a nice little pole. It's a little bit thicker, and I believe this is also a 7-foot pole. Yeah, this is medium to heavy action, 12 to 17 pound line. And I guess, well, I don't see the pole length on there, but I'm thinking it's a 7-foot pole. And the last one that has a reel attached to it goes back to an Okuma. This is the larger one. Now you can see the dust. It's just been sitting for a long time, but I guess they didn't want to bring it down to New Mexico and have the dust run out there as well. This is the Mag Pro, but it's the bigger one. This is the 50 DLX. The others I think were probably 30 size. Very nice reel, a little bit deeper on a heavier rod. This again would be a boat pole. This one is Ocean Master. I don't know the name Ocean Master. If somebody knows that, maybe they can help me a little bit with it. It's an Ocean Master made in the U.S. It's got a beautiful wrapping to it, and it's got the nice, I would call them titanium guides, but I don't believe they are. Up here we go. It's Offshore Angler. So Offshore Angler is a Bass Pro brand, and that's a nice pole. So we have the line counter again, probably for trolling. He's got this loaded with braid with that mono shocker, and well, this one I'm not quite sure what that fate will be for that one. In addition to the rods, I also picked up the other reels. So let's see if we can bring those into the picture here. I think some of these may have been mounted on the post at one point and taken off, and others, I'm not quite sure what the stories are to them. But there were 4 more reels that came along with that. This is actually what caught my mind at the table, was the Penn. Unfortunately, this is the Penn. It's the Spinfisher 5500 SS. It's got the graphite case to it, but unfortunately, the top tip of the mounting has broken off of that. Well, I have a 4500. This one's a little noisy. I have a 4500 SS that the anti-reverse doesn't work on. And the anti-reverse dog is a split-fingered dog that goes under the rotor, and it's no longer available. You can't find them. So I'm thinking I have 2 options with this one. I can either go get the body and rebuild the body. That's an option. Those are still available. And that's, I think, is going to be my second option. If my first option would be to remove the dog from this one and put it onto my 4500 that needs the dog, and then I have a parts reel here for the rest of that. If the dog is not interchangeable in a 4500, 5500, I'm thinking I probably got a 70% chance that they share the internal dog. But if they don't, then the body swap is it. But first and foremost, I'm going to try and make the dog work if possible. Well, two more. These are both what we've seen before, the Magna Pro. And this one, I guess, is the answer to it. It's the 20, not the 30 that I said earlier. So that makes two more of these. This one is a left-handed version of the reel. You don't find lefties around too much. Most of the conventional reels that are out there were made as right-handed reels. And this one is a lefty. First time I saw it, I tried to crank it this way and realized it's a lefty. Same thing with this one. So there are two lefties out there. I didn't get the story. I didn't ask. When he said $100 for the lot, I wasn't paying too much attention beyond the poles. And both of these work nicely. I had a question come in earlier about this one looking like the Cabela's reel. It's quite possible that Cabela's Salt Striker or Catch Striker that I showed earlier is made by Okuma. And one of the things is this one has got an interesting thing with is the internal mechanisms for this is the old Shakespeare Tidewater. And the Shakespeare Tidewater is not affiliated with Okuma. It was separate. So whatever job shop they were using to make them, well, that's probably where that wound up. And here's a traditional one. This is a Penn Jigmaster 500, made in the 1970s. It's got the burgundy side plate. This one was made in the USA. Again, if you're looking at the Jigmasters for the ones made in the USA, the old statement says if it doesn't say made in the USA, it's not. Penn transferred the manufacturer of the Jigmasters to China in around the early 2000s. And, well, the made in the USA was removed because it wasn't made there. This is a nice one. It'll clean up beautifully. And I have a captain on a boat that will take every one of the Jigmasters I find. So, Swap Meet episode number 2 has concluded. $100 purchase from a fellow moving to New Mexico. Wow. Sometimes you're just in the right place at the right time. I hope you've enjoyed that. Please stay watching. There's several more episodes to follow. To our first responders and essential personnel, thank you for all it is you do to keep us safe. I appreciate that. To those of you that have subscribed, thank you very much. To those of you that enjoy this and have not subscribed, please subscribe. And to everybody, have great times on the water. Keep your tackle all serviced and ready to go. And enjoy fishing as a sport and reel repair as a hobby. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.